This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Oilers. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Houston Oilers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you take a look at our home side as we enter play here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight. Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they get a stern road test as they come into this one after losing in London a week ago.
Yeah, the schedule makers gave them a pretty tough stretch here. Ike will know early on whether these guys are ready to play.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 64 yards, and a touchdown.
And he's been a touchdown machine for this season. He's #1 in the league in rushing touchdowns. So that has to help the entire offense as a whole. Play action passes, other people have a chance to touch the football because if you're a defense, you absolutely have to key on him.
Now they try the right side here. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. And this offensive unit should have a lot of juice coming off the big output that they had 1 week ago.
Nothing like confidence, is there? When you've played well the week before, you can't wait to get back on the field and do it again.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. To throw on 2nd down. Murray. A quick throw, but incomplete. Here's a starting 11 for Seattle, and they come in ranked 26 in the NFL against the pass. It's quite a unit. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Murray, and he's got the man, Calvin Ridley. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
We used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
On 1st and 10, Murray. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy sideline, and use him well.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So they bring out their punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and it's a 2nd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
On third down, Wilson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Hurry up, here we go.
On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
All right, here we go.
To throw on second down, Murray. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, partner, I do know this. If you're a defensive back, you have more chances to make a team now than ever because people are using 5 defensive backs, 6 defensive back packages. Not exclusively, but way more than before. That was a nickel package there, and what a pickoff.
Why is that? Why are they using that more?
Because more people are throwing the ball on earlier downs than ever before. This has become a passing league, and because of that, more defensive backs on the field on most plays.
Rosas good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Shifts by him, and now running right through him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Throwing after the interception, Murray. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, I guess that answers the question whether or not they want him throwing it again right away after throwing the pick 6 on the previous drive.
Yeah, not something conservative or underneath. Pretty big shot right there.
Get him right back in the saddle and say, go ahead and sling it, big guy.
Murray now. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on third. Here's Murray. Over the middle, complete. That's Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Give him 35 yards there on the third down conversion.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. The numbers for him from a week ago: 18 carries, 69 yards.
He's having a nice season, and he knows where he ranks in the league. Don't ever let a running back tell you that they don't know that. They do. So what he's doing now is lobbying the offensive coordinator all week long. Hey, how about a few more touches? He's one big game away from maybe leading the league.
Now a handoff looking right. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage.
Set. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Murray. Being checked down. He will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that. Give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Wilson. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
While we know that the identity of this offense is to throw the ball, they've got to run it every so often, if for no other reason than to tamp down the pass rush. They can't let them just tee off and get to their quarterback.
They go play action with Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
And before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's a close game here early on. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and our drive continues here to start quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
All right, here we go.
Operating from the gun, Murray. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3-and-out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down.
Now let's go.
Throwing on first down, Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. Back to the air on 2nd down. Murray. And this one's incomplete.
I would say it would probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. From the gun, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Fights loose. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Caught left side, Williams. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't get totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On first down, Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Now it's Wilson. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. PAT up and good by Rosas. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, look at that. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you got a chance to come back to it when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him as we sit in the second quarter. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. Well, hello. I mean, it took him a while to get him a rep, but that's quite an introduction to this game.
And not just hello. How about goodbye to the defense as he went past him? Big-time run on his first carry of the game.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Hey. Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Now let's go. 3-19.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Now let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ross. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Operating from the gun. Murray. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And the result, a Houston touchdown. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. Fielded about a yard deep. Gets around him. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. There's Mike Williams now as his guys head back out to go on offense. They've got the lead. They haven't really had to utilize him all that much so far, but I guess if you're winning on the scoreboard, not too much to complain about.
Not at all, but you know those guys out wide. They want as many catches as they can possibly get. They may need him later on if things get a little tighter.
Yeah, so far 2 catches. We'll see what happens here as the game progresses. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
2 minutes remain here in the 1st half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now they'll run on the draw. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
So after that stop, you know that 3rd down is not a gimme if you're on the offensive team. So what are you going to do? Run it again? Or maybe you go play action and try and throw the ball and pick up the necessary yardage.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone.
And the Seahawks defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. He got 29 yards that time. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Murray. It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Ross. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am, go ahead and tapping out the first half.
Well,
there's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Extra point up and through. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. Scoring summary. 3-play drive. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Wiggles free. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. This will be fielded at the 17. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And control of the football hands with very little time remaining until the half. And now out comes Houston. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Now the try here for the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. One play, touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Nine seconds to play, likely the final snap of the first half as it's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Rams who are out in front as those teams approach halftime. The Rams looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. From there, we're off to check out another game. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Indianapolis Colts. Kareem Hunt, 81 yards, rushing there. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. It's a loss of 8 there on the first down play.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
To throw on second down. Murray fighting, lost the football. And the offense will cover this one up, but they'll be pushed back inside their own 10.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Give him 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, fighting off the defender, eluding the pressure. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
And that's the second sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now out comes Houston. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go now.
And some space here. Whoosh. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. An excellent run of 22 yards on the keeper and also a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be second down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray. On the passing route, complete. It's Higgins. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On 1st and 10, Murray. Oh, he stays out. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
All right, here we go.
To throw on second down, Murray, a quick hitter, complete. It's Ross. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the gun, Murray. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down. Murray, quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, they're hoping that the 2nd half is better for him than the 1st half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray, he's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point attempt to follow here. Oh, this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
I remember when they changed the rule, and there's a lot of consternation, especially coming from the kickers. Okay, how's this going to affect things, having to kick a longer one now? Much more of a field goal attempt, and the defensive guys saw it as an opportunity to get more block.
That's exactly right. There's more effort now. Before, when it was snapped down near the goal line, you would basically see guys just stand there.
Yeah, not anymore. Now, those guys are going after it because not only can they knock it away and change a little bit of momentum,
they can get 2 points.
They can pick it up and take it back for 2 points.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back. But it's still a 3rd and 8.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now out comes Houston. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And that is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Off the bootleg. Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you get a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Here's Wilson. To the right side, complete to Miller. Finding room to the 20. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the interception by the Seahawks D leads to a touchdown. An out route there for the score, a quick out route there for the score.
Yeah, you're not really surveying the defense on this one. You're just counting on timing, making this play happen. 1-2, ball's out of his hands, knows where he's going, just puts it to the outside. Touchdown.
Rosas good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Well, where do you find that one in the playbook, Charles?
You don't. You absolutely don't. And sometimes what happens is guys want to make a big play, and they turn it into a really bad one. Sometimes you're best just to cut your losses and go down. I hope we don't see another play like that. I'll guarantee you the offensive coordinator, he's looking at his play sheet. He can't find it either.
Yeah, big loss there on the pass completion.
Now let's go.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray. And that will be incomplete as well.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. It's taken to the 26. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Now Wilson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick by Rosas is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would. Would have been a first down. Instead, it's fourth. And on now is the punter, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one goes for 29 yards on third down. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there on the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, what, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gardens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
His throw incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On third down, Wilson. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one. I've just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
To throw is Wilson from the gun on third down. This will be caught at about the 6. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defense side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner, it's been my experience that after 2 stops like that near the goal line, defense has only become bolder. They don't back off at all. I think they continue to bring pressure and force them to make a really big play against them.
And the incompletion, then the run for no gain. Let's see now. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Rosas puts this one through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go.
Off the bootleg. Murray. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Throw left side complete. That's Higgins. Stops shy of the 45. Showed off a nice little move on the play, though. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And they're facing a big third down now in this tie ball game.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Set. Green 30.
Here's Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Leopard. Leopard. All right, now, lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a solid run down inside the 30. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
Set. Green 39.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Here we go now.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Now the Seahawks forced to use their third and final timeout as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, landed.
Now they try the right side here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on third down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Now they'll run it on the toss. A nice little juke. He's got the first down inside the 10. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Earlier in the game, they faced a 19-point deficit. Now here they are with a chance to take the lead on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. And it is splits the uprights on the chip shot. And this home crowd is in a frenzy as their guys have pulled it out of the end. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the home team here, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Seattle, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.